Gives me great pleasure to officially declare Harmony 2025 open. The Company of the Year competition and the Youth Leader competitions will now begin. I request COYC participants to stay here in this hall and the Youth Leader participants to move to the seminar hall just across. We wish all participants the very best. May your ideas shine and your leadership inspire. Thank you, and let the competitions begin.
Plastic bottle cap. What is so special about this bottle cap, you may ask? Well, it's just simply any other bottle cap. Well, this bottle cap is found everywhere in the world. You can find it polluting any and all places that you visit. This is also provided with evidence by the fact that every year over billions and billions of plastic bottles are thrown away. Aside from that, of course, billions and billions more are recycled. Now, what is so bad about recycling bottles, you may ask? There is inherently nothing wrong with recycling bottles. It is in fact a very good thing. But the way it is done with is the problem. You see, a bottle consists of two parts, the body and the cap. The cap consists of the rim and the cap, of course. What happens in plastic bottle recycling is the fact that only the body is recycled. The cap and the rim, however, is left to degrade the environment and is not recycled. So we at ECOIL have come up with a solution to solve this problem. We have decided to integrate this problem along with another very prominent problem, that is plastic pens. You see, the production of pens uses virgin plastic. That is plastic that is produced especially for the making of these pens. So, by solving both of these problems, we have decided to combine the plastic that is used to make the pens with the plastic that is used to make the bottle caps. Over to Archit, the CEO, to provide more insight into this solution.
Thank you, Rishabh. So, why pens? Pens are the leading causes of single-use plastic ending up in landfills. So what ECOIL has done is taken these pens, crafted refillably, customizable, and make it environmentally friendly. So, we have a line of the Elemental series called Aqua, Terra, and Ignis. These pens come with ECOIL's signature marble finish, and this finish isn't accidental, it's intentional. Now, our packaging too is totally recyclable. So, in ECOIL, we're not just creating stationery, we're crafting a planet-approved writing experience. Over to Akshat, our CTO for the production.
Now let us take a journey with an ECOIL pen from waste to writing. First, we shred the pens using an industrial shredder. Next, we melt the pens at 200 degrees Celsius and make them into molten plastic. That makes up the body of the ECOIL pen. Next up, the ECOIL takes shape. We have designed hand-pressed hydraulic molds which fit the contours of our hand to make the ECOIL pen special. Each ECOIL pen is personally designed by each of our teammates to check for the ink flow and the smoothness of the pen. So this ensures that ECOIL's writing experience is as smooth as its design. Over to our CFO Arnav to shed some light on the numbers.
Now I promise I'll be talking about numbers, but I'll make them sound interesting. So to start off, we operate on three fronts: one B2B sales, two B2C sales, and three D2C sales. So here's the opportunity. The Indian stationery market is rupees 16,200 crores, and sustainable products are growing faster than ever. Our consumers, who are school students, corporates, and eco-conscious consumers, aren't waiting for the change; they're demanding it. At rupees 30 per pen, we are here to prove everyone that sustainability doesn't have to meet up with a luxury price tag. It can be a new standard. ECOIL isn't just entering the market, it's creating a movement by being the only one in the Indian market to have such a solution.
Now let us have a glimpse of ECOIL's behind the scenes. This is the beach cleanup we organized. This is our Instagram page where we promote our pens every day. Next up, we have our future plan. ECOIL in the future wants to obtain ISO and green certificates for their pen and also launch our very own soy refill packs to combat the petroleum-based inks. These are the interviews of a few distinguished individuals who have tried...
Sorry team, the time is up. Next up, we have Learning Paths School, Mohali. Their project is called Sina Bloom, and the team members are Gur Rehmat Kaur, Raghav Prashar, Manreet Kaur, and Khyati Jhanji.
Good morning, everyone. We're Team Cinebloom from Learning Path School. The problem that we address today is replacement of toxic chemical pest repellents, which can cause fevers, headaches, nausea, and hemolytic anemia. I would also like to mention that these pest repellents are carcinogenic in nature. By creating sustainable, eco-friendly, and natural products, our venture aims to promote safer and healthier homes.
Our core product, Aarons, is a jute pouch, and it's a jute pouch containing one ball. It's made of cinnamon, clove, neem oil, cornstarch, and glycerin. It's completely non-toxic and eco-friendly. It's safe for families, pets, and even elderly. You can use it in wardrobe spaces, storage places, etc.
Now, moving on to the business model, Aarons delivers natural, non-toxic pest repellent pouches made from eco-friendly organic materials. We reach our customers through e-commerce, through social media marketing and retail stores. We target eco and health conscious individuals and families, and revenue is derived from the sales. The economics of one unit is 1 unit of Aarons pouch means 1 pouch containing 1 ball. The total production cost comes out to be, including the material cost, the labor cost, and the other variable costs, including sales commission, 36.14 rupees. The sales price rupees 100 per unit helps us derive a contribution margin of 63.84 rupees per unit. Hence, we have a profit margin of about 60% per unit, and considering the product line, we still have a margin to reduce it a little and further improve the product.
Now, the natural home care and pest repellent market is valued at projected to reach a value of $6.5 billion by 2035 at a 7.7% CAGR. Now, the Asia Pacific region already has a 35.1% revenue share in the market. Moving on, the marketing that we've done is door-to-door sales. We've set up stalls at school events and other events in societies and done major selling in societies like MR, JLPL, Falcon View, and even Jubilee offices. We expand our reach through reels posted on our school Instagram account.
Our competition includes toxic chemical-based pest repellents and also a very limited market of organic repellents. What sets us apart is that we're antifungal and we repel pests all in one product. Most brands don't focus on that.
Now, the sales data shown over here is outdated. Right now, as of December 5, 2025, we have recorded over 535 sales and generated a revenue of 47,282 rupees, and we are capable of giving, as of right now, 120% return on investment. Now, this completely shows that initially we had a lot of problems in the marketing and sales department, since due to lack of initiative, inefficient and inaccurate sales report and the sales forms data, we could not record any sales in week 2 to 3. However, we have successfully overcome that problem, and we are moving in the good direction right now.
Now, working on the feedback that we received yesterday at the trade fair, we'll be expanding our product range at different prices to enter price-sensitive markets. And also, we will be incorporating a specific and strict guidelines for our for quality raw materials. Yesterday, we created a list of criteria for each and every ingredient that we use to ensure that we are sourcing them sustainably and also ensuring best quality. We will also be adding essential oils of each of the ingredients to ensure more longevity, more range, and more effectiveness by adding cinnamaldehyde found in cinnamon, azardigen found in neem oil, and eugenol found in cloves.
We raised 14,000 in capital by issuing 1,400 shares, each priced at rupees 10.
We are Cinebloom, a team of student entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you. The third team is Mayur School, Noida. Their project is called Tea Bag Co. And the team members are Hetal Chabra, Anjani Singh Rathor, Aditi Singh, and Sharika Sabarwal.
क्या आपका टॉप बैग में कन्वर्ट नहीं होता?
Presenting tea bag. Judges, the fashion that you wore yesterday is in a landfill today, and honestly, so is your conscience. That is why Okay, so the problem that we are solving here is overconsumption. And we comply with 4 SDGs. That's right. Firstly, SDG 9. This project has been bought by 4 young entrepreneurs looking to make a shift in the market. SDG 11 and SDG 12. We source our fabric from boutiques, and all of it does not generate any waste. It is a zero waste. And finally, SDG 8. We employ local tailors like Rakesh Bhaiya to promote our local economy.
Now you must be wondering, how do we put the tea in tea bag? Well, right here we have a zipper at the bottom which you can unzip and adjust the straps to wear it as a t-shirt. Additionally, we also have straps at the side which can be used to cinch it at the waist. When you want to use it as a bag, we can just tie up the zip here and make the loops longer, and you have it as a bag.
So we have 4 different sizes available. It's extra small, small, medium and large. And as of now, we have 3 different prints available. One is the denim version, the gingham pattern which is right here, and the third one is the kurti version.
So sharks, मुद्दे की बात पर आते हैं. Let's take a look at the costs that include in tea bag. So, to make 1 unit of tea bag, our costs include. So, the cloth that we thrift, it takes an average of 40 rupees to procure, and 12 rupees for the zipper. 70 rupees is the cost of labor that they take for 1 unit of tea bag, and that brings our total cost to rupees 122. And we sell this tea bag for rupees 250. That brings our total profit per sale to rupees 128.
We all know social media dictates our today's landscape, from what we eat to what we wear.
Are you even a brand if you're not on the socials?
Thus, we use the powers of digital marketing to reach thousands of people, guaranteeing an increase in sales and getting an insane feedback. The first reel we uploaded amassed over 4,000 views, showing a very exponential potential of our product. We also practice real-life marketing by setting up stalls in PTMs, residential areas, and schools.
With our product, we target eco-conscious Gen Z customers. So, we started operations on 30th June 2025, and in our first month we sold 15 units, and then in August we had a big jump to 30 units, followed by steady sales in September, October and November. So, we sold a total of 124 units and produced a revenue of 31,000. And thus we build proof that tea bag, the concept of a bag that converts into top, is loved by our customers.
So today's sustainable brands mainly repurpose existing waste materials. Tea bag not only recycles the waste cloth but also brings a new product in the market. So for our future prospects, we plan on to release 3 new prints, 3 new designs actually. First one is the gym tank, the second one is halter tops, and the third one is the modest version for targeting the new customers.
So Shah, would you like to join our venture of integrating fashion with function?
Are you in or are you out?
So the 4th team is Maharaja Savai Man Singh Vidyalaya, Jaipur. Their project is Lignora, and team members are Kapish Bachawat, Nitya Gupta, Shaurya Mehta and Manvi Kala.
Real change often begins when we start noticing something that others have ignored. For us, it began in a carpentry workshop, surrounded by huge piles of unused sawdust, floating in the air, coating each and every corner of the room, and ultimately being burned or dumped.
A question arose: what if this sawdust could be more than a byproduct? What if it could be a beginning?
And thus Lignora was born, a name derived from the Latin word lignum, meaning wood, representing our idea of giving wood waste a new life.
Over 84 million tons of wood waste is produced globally. It either ends up in landfills or is burnt, worsening pollution and leading to deforestation.
We saw this as a problem and decided to turn it into a purpose. Lignora transformed discarded sawdust into desk organizers that can store everything at one place. Our clipboards and keychains that offer personalization and durability, all without wasting a single drop of water and minimal use of electricity.
Here are some of our products that truly value Lignora's vision. Our mission is to make Lignora a leading sustainable lifestyle brand in India. We aim to reduce wood waste and promote mindful consumption without harming a single tree.
We are trying to fulfill our CSR by empowering local artisans and preventing deforestation. We aim to build a circular economy where creativity and sustainability goes hand in hand.
Our manufacturing process is simple, clean and thoughtful. We start by collecting sawdust, clean and refine it, blend it with eco-friendly binders and mold it using traditional carpentry techniques. Each piece is hand decorated using elegant decoupage art. Every product is carefully inspected and sustainably packaged.
What sets us apart is our unique blend of elegant decoupage finishes, eco-crafted affordability,
durability from waste material and pricing significantly lower than our competitors.
That's what makes Lignora stand out in a market dominated by plastic and synthetic materials.
Our business model is grounded in strong unit economics. Our core business products, our phone desk organizers and our keychains, both gives us a contribution margin of 40%. Our variable expenses totals to 1,24,800 and our fixed expenses are just 40,800. Despite these low expenses, our liquidation plan has been highly successful. Each shareholder earns 24,600, giving a strong ROI of 59.42%.
When we conducted a survey and analyzed our target audience, we found out that it was mainly upper middle and middle income groups, aged above 5 years, consisting of students and working professionals. We promote Lignora through exhibitions, social media and customized corporate gifting.
Instagram is where our brand becomes alive, where we share our designs behind the scenes and build a community that values eco-friendly creativity.
We differentiate by keeping our selling price marginally low and providing delivery free initially. So far, we have achieved a total sales of 2,64,000 from 591 units and our net profit totals to 98,400. Our break-even revenue is 77,400 and we hit our break-even at 173 units, only within just a few months of launch.
Looking forward, we aim to expand into wireless charging desk organizers, NFC-enabled keychains and digital business card integration that would make our sustainability smarter and future-ready. We also plan to adopt solar-powered drying technologies and compression technologies to scale our production sustainably.
At Lignora, every product carries a story of material reborn, artisans empowered and a planet cared for.
Team, thank you.
From dust to distinction isn't just our tagline,
it's the future we are building.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you can keep it here. Thank you, team. Okay, the fifth one is KR Manglam World School, Gurugram. Their project is called Ceramic and team members are Shivanshi Talukdar, Neil Krishna, Anya Luthra and Bhavya Saluja.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers and fellow participants. We all have our brand saying, be sustainable, be eco-conscious. We carry jute bags, buy metal bottles and talk about climate change on social media. But there's one kind of waste no one is talking about. During the year, broken idols, blank pottery and other pottery items are quietly pushed to the side, sent to dumping grounds or thrown near water bodies.
We call ourselves conscious, but when it comes to this kind of waste, honestly, ये सब दो लगा है.
When this waste is dumped, it causes land and water pollution, releases toxic chemicals, clog lakes and drains, and sharply increases waste during festivals. Over time, this has led to the increase in the wastage of natural resources and serious health risks for nearby communities.
Ceramic is a sustainable initiative that gives each broken item a second chance. Each piece he creates has a story of revival, respect for tradition, and a modern blend of aesthetic to it. Our logo, which showcases a hand-shaping of pot on a potter's wheel, signifies transformation, dignity of labor, and a circular waste-to-product model. We stand for a future where nothing is just waste.
We are Team Ceramic. I'm Shivanshi Talukdar, the founder and CEO.
I'm Neil Krishna, the COO.
I'm Anya Luthra, the CTO.
And I'm Bhagat Saluja from the operations team.
We start this process by collecting such items from roadsides, temples, and colonies. To respect our traditions, we never directly crush the idols. We first immerse them in water, let them naturally lose their form, and then only dry and reuse the clay. For our crafting process, we have a team of potters with us to craft the basic forms. After which, the student team along with the school support staff do the final designing and finishing. For our packaging, we use waste paper by shredding it and using it as a protective paste for all our products.
Our USP lies in the circular waste to product model, where the waste is turned into new meaningful products. We also tackle the waste in more sustainable efforts often overlooked.
The sustainable handicrafts industry is valued at around $4.3 billion. Our target audience includes educated and eco-conscious individuals aged 25 to 55 from urban and semi-urban areas like Delhi, Mumbai and Bengaluru. People who value sustainable and handmade products instead of mass-produced ones.
Our marketing strategy combines both offline and online efforts. Offline, we set up stalls at PDMs and orientations at various festivals to connect directly with families. Online, our Instagram page has received an overwhelming response from our customers, building awareness and engagement across Delhi and NCR.
We have a profitable and scalable business model. We operate across B2C and B2B segments. Our average selling price is ₹250, whereas variable cost is ₹81, which gives rise to a strong contribution margin of ₹169. Our break-even comes around 22 units. Our net profit ratio on sales is 52%.
Our strength lies in the sustainable use of recycled clay and artisan craftsmanship. We also faced weather-related problems, but overcame them by building the inventory beforehand, so that our sales and production were not affected. With the rising demand in handcrafted products, and also the key threats to our company are the imitation products that copy the same aesthetic but without the sustainability values.
We align with the following SDGs shown on the screen.
Over the next 2 years, we're planning to conduct workshops for our underfinished potters, diversify our product lines, and increase our online and retail presence. We also plan to grow through innovation and sustainable growth.
By transforming waste into art and empowering artisans, we are redefining sustainability as both an environmental and human need. At Keramik, we don't just make products, we create impact,
compassion,
and possibility.
Thank you.
Thank you, team. Next up, we have Delhi Public Schools, Srinagar. Their project is AgroSen Tech, and team members are Mumin Nabi Zargar, Mohammad Zahir Thakur, Mohammad Ibrahim Wani, and Maria Parvez Wani.
Greetings everyone, I'm Mumin Nabi Zargar, the founder and CEO of AgroSen Tech. So, the first step in creation of our company wasn't to solve a problem, it was to listen, and we did. Kashmir is losing its red gold, the saffron. The saffron production has collapsed 67.5 in just 13 years. This is more than 30,000 families watching their livelihoods disappear. Now, why saffron? Because saffron is extremely sensitive. Wrong moisture, wrong nutrients, wrong temperature all lead to crop failure. There is no such system in Kashmir, but we have the solution. Our smart saffron guardian. It's an IoT modular based device which monitors the real-time data. It tells you about your soil health, the nutrients, and the moisture levels. Saffron is an extremely sensitive crop which is very hard to deal with, and hence we came up with this solution. This affordable device allows farmers to get notifications on their app, and we have also integrated AI into it. We are not just protecting a crop, we are protecting 2,500 years of cultural legacy. We are giving farmers the tools to fight back against climate uncertainty. The time to act is not coming, it's here. Right now is the moment, and we have the solution.
I'm Mohammad Zahir Thakur, the CEO of the company. I'm here to talk about maximizing the potential of world's one of the most precious spice, saffron. Saffron cultivation is very sensitive. Inconsistent water management and improper nutrient management can lead to decreasing yields. That is why we developed Smart Saffron Guardian.
Our product is basically an IoT-based module. Our product has 3 sensors, 2 soil moisture sensors at 2 different depths, one at 10 centimeter and other at 30 centimeter. We have an NPK sensor in that, that is on 20 centimeter, and all of these depths are crucial for the plant's root system and to collect data. The data is sent to our application in our easy to understand application. Then, whenever the parameters are outside the ideal ranges, our application sends a notification and also provides expert guidance from our AI assistant. So that we done.
Judges, our business model is a robust business model. Our device sells for rupees 35,962 against a COGS of 22,605. This COGS is led by direct expenses like NPK sensors and soil moisture sensors, and indirect ones like cloud hosting and marketing. This yields us a strong contribution margin of rupees 13,321 per unit. It also helps us yield a strong gross profit margin of about 37%, and it helps us break even the business crucially at less than 1 unit each month.
Judges, imagine an $11 billion precision agritech market. Yet over 30,000 farmers in Kashmir use 400-year-old methods. My job was to market AgroSyntech, and I'll show you how we captured this critical segment. First, we conducted hyper-local marketing. We built trust with the farmers themselves physically by conducting field demonstrations in the farms of Pampur and Pulwama. We took the credibility of NGOs by collaborating and partnering with one of Kashmir's biggest NGO, JKCPJ. Then we even built a strong trust relation with major saffron exporters like Herb Heaven and Basu Impex. Besides that, we do community scaling. We drive peer-to-peer adoption with youth awareness programs, and then we did digital integration through our own sources, our app, our website, and our social media. This helps us build a scalable brand identity, and we are AgroSyntech.
While our sales did projective for sales and a gross revenue of 1,43,843, we do require moving from pilot sales to actual production. And for that, we require 4,78,488 rupees. We are AgroSyntech, and we here are to change the farming way. Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Tagore International School, Vasant Vihar, New Delhi. Their project is called Gumball, and team members are Pridhima Upadhyaya, Yashasvi, Anaira Shevaramani, and Prabtej Singh Gandhi.
बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी छोटी प्रॉब्लम्स तो होती ही रहती है.
Sometimes these problems are as simple and as forgotten as a piece of gum. We saw waste that stuck to streets and decided it could stick to purpose instead.
Chewing gum is one of the most littered products across the globe. 374 billion pieces are chewed yearly, and 250,000 tons of gum waste is generated. Littered gum reaches waterways and enters the food chain. We decided to intercept it.
Gumball transforms discarded chewing gum into durable and eco-friendly travel containers that are reusable and, can you guess?
Leak safe.
They're also airtight and leak safe. We have two variants. Variant 1 is a compact airtight container for semi-solid, solids and liquids. Variant 2 is a sleek, more elongated version with a magnetic closure for convenience.
I am the CEO, Yashasvi.
I am the CEO, Ridhima.
I am the CFO, Prabtej.
And I am the CMO, Anaira.
Our company name and logo blends gum plus rumble, the spark of change. The tagline, from gum to gear, sums it up, transforming wasted gum into eco-friendly travel containers.
We collect gum waste from schools, public spaces and malls. Then we sanitize, we recycle, we process, we mold, and finally we finish with quality checks. We impact the SDGs that are being displayed on the screen right now. Avid travelers and influencers largely ages 20 to 49 gravitate towards stylish, planet-positive gear. If we start from Vasant Vihar with just 10,000 homes, even if 1.5% adopt Gumball, that's 900 units right there. Now, scale that mindset across Delhi and you're looking at a reachable market of over 6.5 lakh units, which is around 16 crore in value just within one city.
Others recycle gum or make travel containers. Gumball sits where those circles overlap, transforming wasted gum into eco-friendly travel containers, a concept only Gumball is pursuing in the entire world with no direct competition. Three essence: sleek design, sustainable impact, and pioneering material.
Now let's talk about our unit economics. Our COGS and gross margins for variant 1 are rupees 127 and rupees 72, whereas for variant 2 they are rupees 154 and rupees 145. Our ROI is 103%, with our break-even at approximately 14 units. We have sold over 1500 products to date with steady month-over-month growth as awareness and retail touchpoints expand. In 6 months, revenue reached approximately 4,85,000 rupees with about 2,08,000 rupees in just net margins.
We're also proud to announce that we have recycled over 200 kgs of waste. Each container uses about 30 to 40 pieces of gum, which is approximately 40 to 60 grams of gum that we have transformed instead of trash.
Our forecast targets 31,87,000 rupees in sales and about 13,67,000 rupees in just net margin, with the levers being more pop-up stalls, more collection points and more collaborations.
Pop-up stalls convert curiosity into trials and repeat buys. We have managed to fetch international reach through these stalls and currently have customers from France and Uzbekistan.
For our future plans, we want to scale collection by procuring waste from not only Delhi but abroad. We want to set up our own manufacturing unit and diversify our product line.
And as they say, जिंदगी जीने के दो ही तरीके होते हैं, ignore it or reinvent it. And we decided to reinvent it.
From waste to world, from gum to gear.
This is Gumball. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team. Next, we have Shri Ram School, Malsari, Gurugram. Their project name is Recloth.co and team members are Amaira Narang, Ananya Ahuja, Adhavan Singh and Avika Srivastav.
Every year, I visit my family home in Haridwar, and every year, the sight of the Ganga river breaks my heart a little more. The river that once shimmered with purity now flows under layers of discarded religious cloth. Bright fabrics meant for prayer now choke the very river they were offered to. That image, devotion turning into destruction, haunted me. I couldn't stay silent. I had to change it. That's how Recloth Co. was born, to turn these sustainable fabrics into sustainable storage bags. We also realized that people, after offering these fabrics to the deity, didn't know what to do with them. We wanted to offer them a solution which wouldn't hurt the cultural sentiments and also serve the community.
At Recloth Co., our product ranges from bags with solar power banks, as well as bags without them. They each have multiple pockets for storage and a QR code which tells each bag story, who stitched it, and the artisan that stitched it. We are employing them. The ones that do not have employment throughout the year, we're giving good work for these artisans. Additionally, we have a solar power bank, which we came up with the idea of this because we live in a city like Delhi, where it's highly unsafe to walk out on the streets without charge devices. And so we wanted a solution. Most people who would buy solar power banks would not know what the quality is, or either they would just opt for power banks which do not have solar components at all. And that is why we chose that for our USP.
For marketing, we partner with 30 temples across Delhi NCR region while integrating community outreach with collection drives. We've also used Instagram storytelling to show the journey of each bag. We've also made a website which is currently under development, but it helps us reach eco-conscious consumers directly, because at Recloth Co., we don't just recycle fabric, we renew faith, empower people and restore purity to our rivers.
The selling price for one of our products with the solar component is Rs 750. Our cost of goods sold is Rs 448, while our monthly break-even units is 66. We targeted demographics of 18 onwards of all genders living in the urban and semi-urban areas who value eco-friendly products. The buying frequency generally ranges from 2 to 3 times a year, especially during the festive seasons like Diwali.
Brands doing similar work are Sampurna and Fool. We differ from these brands as we collect our raw material directly from temples in collection drives. We've also added technology to our product, making it more useful for the community.
Through our product, we covered multiple SDGs which are stated on the screen.
Our return on investment is 5%, while our return on sales is 6.67%.
These are our sales projections from July 2025 to June 2026. To date, we have sold 450 units on a pre-order basis.
These are pictures from our collection drive, which we had collected from mandirs, temples, and as well as people's houses. Every year, over 680 tons of sacred waste pollute our holy rivers. Symbols of faith turned into waste. At Recloth Co., we're changing that. Our plan is to divert 5 tons of this waste, employ local artisans to stitch faith back into purpose, and use India's sunshine days to power our solar bags. Because at Recloth Co., we believe faith should never pollute, it should protect. For our future plans, we plan to set up a connection in all 28 states of India, launch new products which appeal to the younger generation, and eventually enter the global markets as we feel they would like the product as it has culture and history to it.
So help us save our rivers.
One bag at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Next, we have Padma Sheshadri Bal Bhavan Senior Secondary School, KK Nagar, Chennai. Their project is called Craft, and the team members are Vandana Ananta Narayanan, M. Ridula, Ameya Jitesh, and M. Shri Shruti.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good day, respected judges. EcoCase by Craft, founded by Shri Shruti and myself, Vandana, the CMO, Mridula, and the CFO, Ameya, welcomes you. More than 1.6 billion plastic and silicone phone cases end up in landfills every year. Imagine the pollution this adds to our planet. This is why we wanted to solve this problem in an affordable and sustainable manner. Our mission is to replace normal phone cases with affordable and eco-friendly ones, fulfilling our vision to simplify sustainability for a greener future. Our value proposition is showing our commitment to our people and to our planet. Next slide. We introduce to you EcoCase by Craft. Made from 100% biodegradable materials, our EcoCase is the perfect solution for the 7,400 tons of plastic waste generated by current phone cases in the Indian market. Next slide. Our EcoCase is made to offer basic protection against scratches, water, and minor drops while maintaining a sleek profile. The resin coating providing a scratch-resistant waterproof layer, the shock-absorbent nature of cardboard, and creative designs provides what we found customers want the most: protection, style, and affordability. Next slide. This slide shows the implementation of customer feedback that has been extremely pivotal to our journey. We started Craft with a bulky cardboard case in May 2025, then refined it to a sleeker June version which was better but difficult to bend or make slots in. We overcame technical difficulties with great research and development and came to our best design in September 2025. Made of 350 GSM cardboard procured from local packaging industries, coated with plant-based resin and hand-painted with aesthetic designs, we had built a stronger, sustainable and fashionable case. Now on to business model. Next slide.
So, our business model is built for
Our business model is built for style and sustainability. As you can see, our selling price is priced at Rs 200 after thorough market research, and our cost, the total variable expenses that we incur, including our cutting costs, packaging and logistics, is just 70 rupees, giving our contribution margin as Rs 130. We each break even at 85 units, which is a very short price, and these are our fixed expenses. Now on to our next slide. On to the next slide, please, which shows the total cost of goods that we've sold. We've sold 250 units so far. This is the total cost we've incurred, which is 17,500 rupees. Next slide. On to market analysis.
Our target population is the age group of 16 to 35 in the Chennai region. Our surveys show that customers prefer fashionable, sustainable, and customizable products. They change their phone cases as often as every 6 months, providing us an opportunity to present our EcoCase. Next slide. We connect our customers primarily through social media platforms. We have also set up small shops in apartments, keeping in mind the goal to reach our customers in all ways possible. Next slide. Our competitors are local manufacturers, plastic and silicone case manufacturers, and brands like Brown Living and Etsy. Our advantage over these brands is that our product is completely bio-based and affordable. Next slide. These are our sales as of December 2025. After viewing customer feedback, we have decided our final selling price to be rupees 200. We have also seen a high profit of over rupees 20,000 after selling 250 units over to startup funds.
We have structured our startup funds with rupees 14,000 for crore operations, supported by rupees 7,000 for emergency funds, and rupees 21,000 reserved for fixed costs, floating to rupees 42,000. With these investments, our projected ROI is 135% and ROS is 38%. This strategic allocation confirms that our venture is both profitable and built for sustainable growth.
Next slide. We aim to expand our product line, upgrade manufacturing, enter global markets, and build strong brand recognition. As we scale, we aim for automation, major retail partnerships with phone companies, and international growth, leading to us becoming a large-scale eco-tech brand with a range of sustainable accessories.
Thank you so much. Sorry, we are up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So panel, invest in craft where sustainability meets style. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you. Okay, sure. Next is Maharaja Savai Bhavani Singh School, Jaipur. Their project is called Sokus and team members are Akshit Burdia, Dakshita Chhajir, Ananya Sharma and Sarthak Chaudhary.
Well, this is the moment your old pair turns into a 600-year problem. You toss them aside without a second glance. But have you ever wondered what happens to those pairs after you throw them away?
Each year, over 22 billion pairs of footwear end up in landfills, and millions of discarded tires release toxic chemicals like styrene, benzene, and heavy metals. In India alone, over 3 million tons of tires are thrown away annually. Countless tons of textile waste, including denims, just lie in landfills for decades on end.
Together they form one of the fastest growing and least managed waste streams today. We noticed this problem, did some research, took a closer look, and kept coming back to one question. Why not?
Why not take 3 of the world's most ignored waste streams, slippers, denims, and tire, and come up with an idea to transform waste into something people can actually wear every day, something that is market ready and environmentally sound. This is why we came up with Sokus. At Sokus, we redefine comfort with conscience, recycling discarded tires and rug denims by transforming them into eco-fresh slides. At Sokus, why not became our starting point.
Our product range includes eco slides and casual footwear, crafted entirely from upcycled materials. Each of our handcrafted pair is lightweight, durable, and built for daily comfort, combining conscious innovation with modern design.
Available in deep blue and black tones, our footwear comes with customized hand-painted as well as printed designs with tire at the sole and denim on top. Our footwear gives you the chance to do good for the planet without compromising on style.
Each of our slide pair retails at a pricing of 750 rupees, with manufacturing cost being 400 rupees, earning us a gross profit margin of 46.67%. Our company has an impressive ROI of 66.3% and ROS of 40%, which demonstrates our sustainable growth and profitability.
Our market is ever expanding, as today customers prioritize sustainability, which eventually paves path for brands like ours.
Our target audience includes millennials and Gen Zs who constantly seek for eco-friendly, stylish alternatives that cater their needs and lifestyle.
Through consistent social media presence and active involvement in community spheres, Sokus builds a brand that feels friendly, engaging, and authentically connected. We make most of our sales through pop-up stores, but we also have an Instagram account through which
Yes, we have competition, but ask yourself how many of those brands offer handcrafted designs which are customizable. How many of those brands have the exclusive design range that we offer? How many of those brands offer
the designs that Gen Z actually want. At Socus, we don't make what we want to sell. We make what you want to buy.
From the hands of skilled mochis to the soles of your feet, every pair of Socus is more than just footwear. It's a story of revival, craftsmanship, and conscious living. Because in the end, it's not just about where we go, it's about how we get there. So join the movement with us at Socus, where every soul finds a story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team. Next, we have Happy Days School, Shivpuri. Their project is called Yagna, and team members are Abhinandan Sankla, Adhya Vijayvargya, Shaurya Gupta, and Kushal Agarwal.
When tradition becomes inconvenient, people forget it. But when tradition becomes simple, people return to it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the intellectuals of galaxies, invited judges, teachers, and my dear friends. We present you Yagna, a bridge between ancient tradition and modern simplicity. Today, performing a Havan is much more complicated than it seems. People have to go to different shops to buy different products. It takes a lot of time and energy, and still there is no guarantee for purity. There's a big gap, a ready-to-use product that fits in modern life. And this is what exactly Yagna gives them. A ready-to-use Havan cup made from cow dung, ghee, camphor, and other different herbs, including 5 kinds of different woods, which is 100% chemically free and ready to light. Yagna makes the ritual of Vedic Havan so simple that anyone and everyone could use that in their daily life beautifully and effortlessly.
Now, our mission is influential to bring back purity, tradition, and sustainability into modern homes. And Yagna does that in 3 ways. First, we empower rural women. Each small Yagna unit employs 4 to 5 village women, giving them steady income, dignity, and independence. Second, we support Gaushalas. Every 1,000 cup we produce requires 10 to 15 kgs of cow dung, giving Gaushalas regular income and helping them take better care of the indigenous cows. Third, we protect the environment. Our cups are 100% natural, biodegradable, less pollution, and non-toxic. Even the leftover ash acts as a bio-organic pesticide. The Yagna as a product stands for purity. The natural aroma it produces from herbs, camphor, and ghee is perfect for positivity, daily puja, festivals like Diwali and Navratri. And the best part is, it just takes 5 seconds to use it.
So now, let me explain you about our marketing strength and operations. Our production process is simple, natural, and highly scalable. First, we brought the dung, purifies it, mix it with the herbs, molds the cup, sun-dry them, check the quality, and neatly pack them in the boxes. All this process is done by our trained rural women. The demand is already high. Indian sacred market is around 10,600 crores and our initial reachable segment is 2 lakhs household, which creates a 6 crore annual opportunity for us. But the real gold mine is in NRI's market. There are overall 3.4 crore NRIs all over the world, which lack pure, authentic, traditional, ready-to-use Havan products. Most of the products abroad are available too expensive, highly unauthentic, or too artificial. Yagna is a simple, beautifully packed product which is the best option for the NRI's homes. Our marketing strategies includes Instagram stories, temples partnerships, local community resources, and festival stalls. Our product builds the trust instantly because purity is something that cannot be ignored.
Now, let's look at the financials that make Yagna strong. Our initial investment is Rs 75,000, covering molds, packaging, raw materials, wages, and initial marketing. Our cost per box is Rs 60 and we sell it for Rs 96, which turns out to a profit of Rs 36 per box. Meanwhile, we break even at just 65 boxes per month, which is very achievable. Our projected growth is strong. In our initial year, we aim a revenue of Rs 1,20,000, maintaining a 37.5% return on sales and an impressive 60% return on investment. The future of Yagna includes meditation aroma cups, natural wax candles, and premium exporting packaging for moving to the global market. And now we conclude with what Yagna truly stands for. Yagna is not just a product. Yagna is a purpose.
We are not just selling cups. We are caring forward with tradition.
We are creating impact meaningful and powerful.
And together, we are building the future of global devotion.
This is Yagna, pure, powerful and purposeful. Thank you.
Okay, the last team is Scottish High International School, Gurugram. Their project is called DNU, and team members are Anya Arora, Arav Upadhyaya, Arav Gupta, and Avantika Palakzil.
Did you know that denim was first produced in France, crafted as a durable fabric for laborers, but today it is mass produced and contributes to the second largest polluting industry in the world, the fabric industry. The fashion industry produces over 92 million tons of waste every single year, where a single pair of jeans consumes over 3,700 liters of water.
But as fast fashion harms the planet, it also harms people. We buy more but connect less. Our clothes hold no meaning.
Our generation stands at the intersection of two crises: environmental destruction and emotional exhaustion. Fast fashion and the trends pushed on social media have forced teens and adults both to tie their self-worth to aesthetics, leaving behind their emotional health as well as their authenticity. That is what makes this not just a sustainability issue, but also an emotional one.
So what if we could turn that waste into something meaningful, something which helps the people and the planet?
At DNU, we bridge sustainability and mental wellness. We transform discarded denim into eco-friendly fashion that promotes confidence, compassion, and self-growth.
We upcycle donated denim into bags, laptop sleeves, pouches, and accessories, each piece beautifully handcrafted by skilled women artisans in Banjara Market, Gurgaon. We conducted market surveys for which we received 500 plus responses on the range of products as well as the range of prices from our target audience, and built our brand identity and designs around those insights.
Inside each of our products, we have attached tools that will help uplift our customers' mental health. Firstly, a calming strip for moments of anxiety to give your hands something to play on when you're feeling stressed. A mini whiteboard to jot down points and thoughts when you may not have something to write on. Daily positive affirmations for those who need a little reassurance to get through the day. And lastly, QR codes attached on each of our products help connect our customers through the DNU community. Our product ranges from rupees 299 to 999 as shown in these slides.
Our production process is simple. We first collect denim through school and community drives. Then we wash and sanitize that denim and send it for stitching. After that, we attach our wellness tools, making them ready for sale.
Our target audience is young people between the ages of 15 to 20, currently selling in Delhi NCR. But as we scale across the country, we tap into a market of over 742 million youth.
Our work aligns with the UN SDGs 8, 9, 11, 12, 13 and 15.
We build visibility through our social media, our Instagram, and through pop-up stalls in our schools and school PTMs. There are some photos here of our pop-up stalls. Moreover, our SWOT analysis showed that DNU's strength lies in 100% upcycled denim, which builds emotional connection. We face some challenges related to labor-intensive production line and greenwashing, but we have found opportunities through government schemes.
We'll be scaling through online platforms, school collaborations, and influencer campaigns. We'll also be upgrading our QR code to be fabric integrated.
In the future, we aim to achieve global sustainability certificates such as the GOTS and the Fair Trade, expand all across India, create more artisan jobs, and save water along the way.
In just 6 months of pilot production, we achieved an ROI of 14.4%, a return on sales of 20%, and reached break-even at 113 units. At DNU, every product, Revised Denim, empowers artisans and builds community. We practice circular fashion, conserving resources and giving new life to what others discard.
Because we believe that when people feel collected, they make choices that heal both the planet and themselves.
We are DNU, denim made new.
Thank you, team. Thank you.